Hi everyone, this is Mark with Ease Investing. Welcome to this video. Today, we are going to go over how to monitor a position when you have sold a call. Again, I have sold a call. If you don't know what selling a call is, watch my other videos explaining that. In this video, we're going to go over how to monitor your position when you have sold a call. We can see that I have sold an $18 call on SoFi, and we can see that SoFi is currently at $18.52. A quick recap, when you have sold a call, you pretty much put a cap on the stock, betting that it's not going to go above that call, and you get paid for making that bet. So I betted that SoFi would stay below $18, and if it does, when this expires, then I just keep that money, and if it doesn't, then I have to sell the stock for $18 a share. So we can see at the top, the $18.52 is the current SoFi stock price. And we can see that I sold the $18 call. So the current stock price is above my $18 call. The $1.11 is the contract price. Let's scroll down to see the details. We can see that I sold 5 calls. I have 5 contracts. And I sold these on June 18th. It expires July 18th. Today is July 6th. So it expires in a little over 10 days. If I scroll down, I got paid $65 for selling those 5 contracts. So let's go over how to monitor this position. There are really 3 things I can do. The first thing I can do is do nothing and just let this contract continue going until it expires on July 18th and see what happens. So if I could dip below that $18 or it could stay above it. That's the first thing I could do, is do nothing. The second thing I could do is, since I sold a call, I could buy this position back and take my loss for it. So the second thing I could do is buy this contract back and take a loss. The third thing I could do is buy this contract back and take a loss, but then I could open up another position, and let's say I decide to sell a $19 call and get paid for selling that. That's called rolling this position. So those are the 3 things I can do. How do I know which one of those 3 things I should do? How I figure out what I should do is simply by calculating what the extrinsic value is. When I calculate the extrinsic value, that guides me on what I should do with a position when I have sold a call. Let me walk you through those steps. It's very simple. So to know what your extrinsic value is, you first need to calculate your intrinsic value. The intrinsic value, you simply take the current stock price, which is $18.52, and you subtract that from the $18 call. So $18.52 minus 18 leaves you with an intrinsic value of 52 cents. The next step that you're going to do, once you know your intrinsic value, and remember, intrinsic value is important so you could calculate your extrinsic value, because your extrinsic value guides you on what you should do. For the extrinsic value, what you're going to do is you're going to take that 52 cents of intrinsic value, and you're going to take the contract price, which is $1.11. So $1.11 minus 52 cents gives you an extrinsic value of 59 cents. So that's the key, is finding that extrinsic value. So the extrinsic value is 59 cents. That is important to know, because if your extrinsic value is less than 10% of the contract price, so the contract price is $1.11, less than 10% would be about 11 cents. So 59 cents is greater than 11 cents. Since that is greater than 11 cents, this contract is going to stay open and I'm going to continue to monitor it. Now, what would I do if my extrinsic value was 5 cents? So it was less than the 10% of the contract price. What I do if it was less than that 11 cents? In the example, if my extrinsic value was 5 cents, I would most likely roll this position. So I would buy back my call, and then I would open up a $19 call for a later date and get paid for that. That is rolling the position. So that's how the extrinsic value guides you on what you should do. If your extrinsic value is less than 10% of the current contract price, you have a high likelihood that this contract could be closed early on you, and you would take a loss. By knowing the extrinsic value, this allows you to take control of the position and guide you on what you should do. Hope this video provided value to you. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment box.